There are motorcycles that come and go with trends. And then there are machines that become legends. Some bikes become popular for a few years before fading into history. Others leave marks so deep that entire generations remember exactly where they first saw them. The Suzuki Hayabusa belongs to that rare class of machines that transform from motorcycle into myth. For more than 2 decades, the Hayabusa has represented raw speed, fearless engineering, and a rebellious spirit that refused to disappear. It is not merely a superbike, it is one of the most important motorcycles ever created. This is the story of the machine that changed the world of motorcycling forever. So in this vlog, we'll focusing ourselves to the story of one of the legendary super sports bike that became a myth for its speed, power, and unmistakable presence, the Suzuki Hayabusa. Then we've given again opportunity to visit one of the dealers to store to see actually and personally one of the latest version of the model of Suzuki Hayabusa, which is on this video. We'll share again some interesting facts and information, then showing again some of my handheld shots featuring this kind of super sports bike from Suzuki motorcycles. So everyone and everybody, eto na ang Suzuki Hayabusa. Let's go! During the 1990s, Japanese motorcycle manufacturers were engaged in an intense battle to produce the world's fastest production motorcycle. The competition focused on top speed, engine performance, and aerodynamic innovation. At the time, the dominant machine was the Honda CBR 1100XX Super Blackbird, introduced by Honda in 1996. The Super Blackbird held the title of the fastest production motorcycle in the world, capable of reaching nearly 290 km/h. Suzuki wanted to surpass every competitor. The company began developing a motorcycle under the internal project goal of achieving unmatched high-speed stability, acceleration, and aerodynamic efficiency. Engineers focused heavily on wind tunnel testing, which led to a unique body shape unlike any motorcycle before it. The competition was fierce. Japanese manufacturers pushed engineering further every year, chasing higher top speeds and more aggressive performance. Riders wanted machines that felt unstoppable, and companies competed to deliver them. But inside Suzuki, engineers were preparing something revolutionary. They were not interested in matching the competition. They wanted domination. In 1999, Suzuki introduced the GSX-1300R Hayabusa. The name itself carried a message. Hayabusa is the Japanese word for peregrine falcon, the fastest bird on earth. During hunting dives, peregrine falcons can exceed speeds of 300 km/h. But the name contained another layer of meaning. Peregrine falcons prey on blackbirds. This was Suzuki's bold statement aimed directly at Honda's Blackbird. The motorcycle industry immediately understood the challenge. The first generation Hayabusa featured 1,299cc inline-4 engine, fuel injection system, ram air intake technology, aerodynamic full fairing, aluminum twin spar frame. The engine produced around 173 horsepower, an enormous figure for its era. More importantly, the Hayabusa became widely recognized as the first production motorcycle capable of exceeding 300 km per hour or 186 miles per hour. This achievement shocked the motorcycle industry. That achievement made headlines worldwide. At the time, crossing the 300 km per hour barrier was considered almost unbelievable for a street-legal motorcycle. The Hayabusa instantly became the king of speed. The Hayabusa arrival triggered a concern across the motorcycle industry and governments worldwide. Manufacturers feared increasing speeds could lead to regulation and public backlash. The Hayabusa's incredible performance alarmed regulators and industry leaders in Europe and other markets. Concern grew over increasingly dangerous top speed competition among manufacturers. So in 2000, Japanese and European motorcycle manufacturers agreed to an unofficial speed limit of 299 km per hour or 186 miles per hour per production motorcycles. This agreement effectively ended the speed wars. Despite its brutal speed, riders discovered something surprising about the Hayabusa. It was comfortable, unlike many aggressive superbikes. The Hayabusa offered a smoother riding position and exceptional highway stability. Riders could cruise long distances without feeling destroyed after an hour. This dual personality made it special. It could dominate drag races on Saturday night and comfortably cross entire countries on Sunday morning. That balance between insanity and refinement became part of the Hayabusa identity. The Hayabusa quickly developed a massive global following. Its popularity spread far beyond traditional sports bike riders because the motorcycle offered a rare combination of extreme speed, long-distance comfort, smooth power delivery, excellent highway stability. Unlike many aggressive superbikes, the Hayabusa could comfortably handle touring and everyday riding while still delivering world-class acceleration. This versatility helped build its legendary status. One major reason for the Hayabusa's fame was its success in drag racing. The powerful inline-4 engine proved extremely durable and highly tunable. Motorcycle builders discovered that the engine could handle turbochargers, nitro system, and major horsepower increases without sacrificing reliability. Modified Hayabusa soon became dominant in drag racing scenes worldwide. Some turbocharged versions produced over 500 horsepower, while specialized racing builds eventually exceeded 1,000 horsepower. The motorcycle became a favorite platform for speed record attempts and quarter-mile racing. In 2008, Suzuki introduced the second-generation Hayabusa. Major updates included larger 1,340cc engine displacement, increased horsepower and torque, revised aerodynamic bodywork, improved electronics, stronger chassis, and suspension upgrades. The new engine produced approximately 197 horsepower, although still electronically limited to 299 km per hour. The motorcycle offered improved acceleration and smoother performance throughout the rev range. The second generation Hayabusa remained in production for more than a decade and became extremely popular worldwide. By the late 2010s, increasingly strict emission regulations, especially Euro 4 standards in Europe, created challenges for older motorcycle platforms. So in 2018, Suzuki discontinued the Hayabusa in several markets, leading many enthusiasts to fear the legendary motorcycle had reached the end of its life. Demand for used Hayabusas increased dramatically during this period because riders believed production might never resume. So in 2021, Suzuki officially revived the Hayabusa with an all-new third-generation model. While visually familiar, the motorcycle received major modernization, advanced electronic package, multiple riding modes, cornering ABS, launch control, cruise control, traction control, update engine internals, and improved aerodynamics. The third generation Hayabusa uses a refined 1340cc inline-4 engine designed for strong, low-end torque and smooth acceleration rather than maximum top speed competition. Suzuki focused on making the motorcycle more sophisticated, comfortable, and technologically advanced while preserving its legendary identity. The Hayabusa became more than a motorcycle. It appeared in movies, racing games, television shows, motorcycle magazines, hip-hop culture, and custom bike scenes. Its instantly recognizable shape and reputation for extreme speed turned it into a cultural symbol. Even people unfamiliar with motorcycles often recognize the Hayabusa name. The Hayabusa succeeded because it delivered more than speed. It represented engineering ambition, peerless design, real-world usability, mechanical durability, and extreme performance. Very few motorcycle influence an entire industry. The Hayabusa did exactly that. It helped define the hyperbike category and push manufacturers toward advanced aerodynamic and high-speed stability engineering. More than 25 years after its introduction, the Suzuki Hayabusa remains one of the most respected motorcycle ever built. Its legacy continues through enthusiast communities, drag racing culture, touring riders, collectors, and motorcycle history itself. The Hayabusa is not remembered simply because it was fast. It is remembered because it changed what riders believe a motorcycle could be. And that is why the legend of the Hayabusa continues to fly across highways, racetracks, and motorcycle history around the world.
Yun, Suzuki Hayabusa. Let's go! Hi everyone and everybody. So nandito na naman tayo sa panibagong content at video natin ito about sa pagtalakay at pag-discuss ng isa sa mga super sports bike. Ito nga, nagpunta nga tayo sa isang dealership store para experience, makita actually and personally ang motorsiklo ito. Nandito na nga itong super sports bike na nasa tabihan natin, commonly called Suzuki Hayabusa. Napakaswerte natin araw na ito at natutungayan natin ng isang klaseng super sports bike. Kaunting ma-experience natin ng ganitong klaseng kalakas at katinding super sports bike made from Suzuki. So, ano pa nga bang inaantay natin, everyone and everybody? Samahan niyo na muli ako para sa panibagong vlog at punta natin ito about dito sa super sports bike na ito, which is Suzuki Hayabusa. Let's go! Alright everyone and everybody, so before we get started again to talk about this kind of amazing and outrageous super sports bike from Suzuki, which is Suzuki Hayabusa, ay nagpapasalamat po muli ako sa ating mga loyal subscribers, followers, and supporters ng content channel na ito. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. Then, kung napadaan or interesado ka sa mga ganitong content or videos, abay, huwag ka naman magalilangan pa dyan, i-hit mo na ngayon dyan sa device na ginagamit mo ngayon, ang subscribe button at notification bell para updated ka palagi sa ating mga latest content, posts at videos na usually i-share namin itong video ito sa kay YouTube, Facebook, and other social media pages. You may check our description below for more information about these social media pages. So, nagpapauna ko na po ang pasasalamat sa inyo dahil sa pagpili nyo sa channel na ito para magatid sa inyo ng kakaibang content and authentic videos na dito nyo lang makapanood kay Mykmoto TV. Maraming salamat po sa inyo.
Ang Suzuki Hayabusa ay isang klaseng super sports bike motorcycle at isa sa mga fastest production motorcycle that ever built ng Suzuki motorcycles. Meron itong overall dimensions at nakapaloob nga sa dimension ng motorsiklong ito ang haba nitong 2,180mm, lapad na 735mm, taas na 1,165mm, ang seat height naman nito ay nasa 800mm, ground clearance niya naman ay nasa 125mm at may timbang na 262 kilograms. Then kung iambin nga natin dito ang body index ko sa motorsiklong ito, kung saan nga mayroon akong height na 5'5" at timbang na 60 kilograms, then to our first riding experience kay Suzuki Hayabusa, while in its static position, na medyo nagalangan pa nga ako sa pagkakaupo ko dito sa motorsiklong ito hanggang naging swabe na nga ang pagkakaupo ko dito, na naging resulta ng isang amazing riding experience sa isang klaseng super sports bike na ito. At kitang kita nyo naman na pag na-maneuver ko sa handlebar nito na still manageable pa naman, even to our height and weight ay nagagalaw ko pa naman siya. While in its moving position, we need to be skillful motorcycle rider first before we ride with this kind of powerful super sports bike because of its aggressive power that needs some skills to handle and manage it perfectly. Not to discourage everyone, but for the safety also of the person who want to own this kind of cool super sports bike from Suzuki motorcycles. The Suzuki Hayabusa engine is just as legendary as the motorcycle itself. Renowned for its bulletproof reliability, immense power delivery, and massive tuning potential, this engine has carved out a legacy that extends far beyond the two-wheeled world. Kung saan nga nakapaloob sa makina ng legendary super sports bike na ito, ang inline 4-cylinder nito, 4 strokes, 16 valves, naka-double overhead cam, may 1,340cc na engine displacement. Ang bore size sa stroke naman ito ay nasa 81mm by 65mm. Compression ratio niya naman ay nasa 12.5:1. So gusto mo na rin bang malaman ang lakas at bilis ng maalamat na super sports bike na ito? Kahit ako ay napatulala at nanginig pa rin ng malaman ko ang super performance ng makina nito, kung saan ang maximum power output lang naman ni Suzuki Hayabusa with its latest model version ay nasa 139.44 kW at 9,700 RPM. Sa lakas at bilis nga ng super sports bike na ito, abay, kumuha ka nga muna ng St. Peter Lightland bago ka sumumpa sa motorsiklong ito, na nasabi ko nga kanina na hindi pang beginner ang sports bike nito. This motorcycle is perfect for those rider who has a lot of motorcycle riding skills to perfectly control this power super sports bike. Akala nyo ba yan lang ang engine performance ng motorsiklong ito? Hindi pa. Dahil sa maximum torque ni Suzuki Hayabusa with its latest model version na nasa 150 Nm at 7,000 RPM, na talaga naman isa sa mga iconic legendary super sports bike when it comes to its speed, power, and ultimate presence. Then the engine cooling system is a liquid cooled equipped with this white radiator container that helps the engine achieves its maximum performance while maintaining its unprecedented power and speed, and keeping the super sports bike reaching the maximum reliability lifespan of this inline-4 engine. The transmission of the Suzuki Hayabusa is engineered to handle the massive torque and brutal power delivery of its 1340cc engine without flexing or braking. Like the engine, it is highly durable and optimized for both drag strip, launches, and smooth highway cruising. The Hayabusa utilizes a 6-speed, constant mass sequential manual transmission. It uses a standard motorcycle shift pattern, 1 down, 5 up. In the current Generation 3 models, Suzuki revised the internal gear ratios and tooth widths. The changes improve durability, reduce mechanical noise, and optimize power delivery in the low to mid RPM range. The modern Hayabusa features an advanced slipper assist clutch system which serves two critical functions. The assist function, light lever pull, which partially uses the engine's internal torque to help press the clutch plates together. This allowed Suzuki to use softer clutch springs, give the rider a surprising light and easy clutch lever pull, a massive benefit when riding in heavy traffic. The fuel system of the Suzuki Hayabusa is a masterclass in high-velocity fueling. To keep an engine producing intense power across a massive RPM range, Suzuki created a highly sophisticated multi-injector setup that balances violent full throttle acceleration with civilized street-legal emissions. The Hayabusa does not just use one fuel injector per cylinder. It uses a Stage 8 injector system, 2 injectors for each of the 4 cylinders. These are located down in the throttle bodies. They operate constantly to provide precise fueling for starting, idling, and daily low to mid-range street riding. The Suzuki Side Feed Injector or SSFI, these additional injectors are positioned higher up in the intake panel. They target a specialized reflecting plate that optimizes the fuel into fine mist before it enters the combustion chamber. When you crack the throttle open and demand maximum performance, these secondary injectors start to flood the engine with the extra fuel required for hyperbike velocities. Older generation utilized traditional mechanical throttle cables, but modern iteration use an advanced ride-by-wire electronic throttle body system. The system features tapered 43mm throttle body. Instead of a physical cable pulling the butterflies open, an onboard computer interprets the exact angle of your right wrist and adjusts the electronic throttle plates. This yields perfectly linear, natural throttle response and allows the bike to seamlessly integrate its complex traction and power modes. Being a 582-pound or 264 kilograms motorcycle that is electronically limited to 186 miles per hour requires a monumental amount of stopping power. Because of this, the braking system of the Suzuki Hayabusa is nothing short of world-class, utilizing top-tier track hardware paired with a highly sophisticated computer brain. For the front brakes, Suzuki completely overhauled the previous generation's hardware, opting for top-of-the-line Brembo Stylema 4-piston radial mount calipers. The 108mm Special Edition, while Brembo standardized a 100mm mounting layout for the European bikes. They custom-engineered the wider 108mm version specifically to fit the Hayabusa. The Stylema calipers is sculpted to optimize airflow around the brake pads. This enhanced ventilation, reducing internal brake fluid temperatures by 10%, eliminating brake fade or spongy lever feeling during aggressive, repeated high-speed stops. The dual Brembo calipers clamp down on top pair of the enormous 320mm stainless steel full floating disc to maximize surface area and leverage. The rear braking is much more progressive to prevent destabilizing the heavy chassis. It features a single piston Nissan caliper. It grips a single 260mm disc. When you are dealing with a heavy hyperbike that can accelerate like a jet fighter, the wheel center act as the critical handshake between brutal power and the asphalt. Suzuki designed the Hayabusa's rolling stock to handle intense centrifugal forces, extreme heat, and immense structural load. The Hayabusa has maintained a consistent, classic sports bike tire footprint to perfectly balance straight-line stability with cornering lean. Both tires carry a W speed rating, meaning they are safety certified for velocities exceeding 168 miles per hour or 270 plus km per hour. The front tire size is 120/70 R1 1758W. This is standard front sports size, providing a predictable contact patch when braking and steering. The rear tire size is 190/50 say R17 73W. A wide, lower profile rear tire designed to maximize the contact patch when the bike is stood up, allowing it to put all 110-pound foot of torque directly into the ground. Because of the shelf tires struggle with the unique weight and speed combination of a Hayabusa, Suzuki partnered closely with Bridgestones. Modern models come factory equipped with Bridgestones Batlux Hyper Sports S22 tires. Crucially, this feature a bespoke LS specification compound engineered exclusively for the Hayabusa. This tailored instruction features steeper carcass and specific compound layering to handle the bike's heavy weight, 582 pounds or 264 kilograms, and prevent tire distortion at speed above 155 miles per hour or 250 km per hour. The current Generation 3 models feature striking 7-spoke cast aluminum alloy wheels, a standard 3.5 by 17-inch rim up front, and a massive 6 by 17 rim at the rear. While many modern liter bikes focus on making wheels as light as humanly possible, Suzuki had to balance weight reduction with the structural rigidity. The 7-spoke design is structurally optimized to handle harsh G-forces from drag strips, launches, and the immense load exerted under heavy braking from the front Brembo calipers. To keep a heavy, high-velocity machine perfectly stable at their aircraft speeds while still offering a plush, comfortable ride for long-distance touring, the Suzuki Hayabusa relies on a premium, highly adjustable analog suspension system. Suzuki chose to skip complex electronic active suspensions in favor of heavy-duty, track-proven mechanical hardware from KYB or Kayaba, which has been meticulously tuned for the bike's unique weight and speed dynamics. In the front suspensions, the Hayabusa utilizes premium KYB 43mm inverted cartridge forks. The outer tubes feature a striking finish, but the magic is on the inner tubes, which are threaded with a sleek DLC or diamond-like carbon coating. This is the artistically reduced stiction or static friction, allowing the forks to react instantly to minor road imperfections. For the modern Generation 3 model, Suzuki completely revised the internal bulbing, oil levels, and spring rates. The goal was to improve compliance over bumps while increasing mid-stroke support to prevent the heavy nose from excessively diving under hard braking from the Brembo Stylema calipers. The front forks are fully adjustable for spring preload, compression damping, and rebound damping, allowing riders to tailor the front end feel to their exact body weight and riding style. The rear end features sophisticated bottom-link suspension arm hooked up to a pressurized KYB gas-charged monoshock. The linkage geometry is designed to provide a progressive damping curve flash during initial travel for highway cruising, but rapidly steepening up under deep compression to keep the chassis stable during brutal acceleration or when carrying a passenger and luggage. The seating configuration of the Suzuki Hayabusa is designed to bridge the gap between high-speed track weapon and long-distance hyper-tourer. Because riders often spend hours in the saddle crossing states or crouched flat against the tank at a drag strip, the seat layout is highly functional. The Hayabusa utilizes a two-piece rider and passenger split seat configuration. The front seat is wide, deeply contoured, and stepped down significantly into the frame. This pocket design lets the rider sit in the bike rather than on top of it, providing excellent lower back support when fighting massive acceleration forces. The rear seat is raised seating on the sloping subframe. While it is reasonably padded for a sports bike, it is elevated, exposing the passenger to more wind blasts. The handlebar setup on the Suzuki Hayabusa is a critical component of its split personality. It needs to position the rider aggressively enough to tack completely behind the windscreen at 186 miles per hour, yet remain comfortable enough to prevent wrist and back fatigue during an all-day 500-mile touring ride. To achieve this balance, Suzuki utilizes a specialized clip-on design rather than a traditional one-piece tubular handlebar. Instead of clamping a single bar to the center of the steering stem, the Hayabusa uses individual left and right aluminum clip-on bars. Crucially, these clip-ons do not bolt directly to the raw fork tubes like a standard track-focused superbike. Instead, they mount into a beautifully finished upper triple clamp casting. To ensure long-distance comfort, the handlebar mounts are rubber insulated underneath the triple tree. This dampens the higher frequency buzzing of the 1340cc inline-4 engine, keeping your hands from going numb during long highway stints. While 14mm sounds all small on paper, in motorcycle ergonomics, it is a game changer. It slightly strengthens the rider's torso, taking significant pressure off the wrist and lower back. This change drastically improved the bike's comfort during daily commuting and long-range sports touring, all without sacrificing the front-end weight bias needed for high-speed cornering control. The modern Hayabusa handlebar controls look closer to a fighter jet cockpit than a traditional motorcycle, acting as a command center for the Suzuki Intelligent Ride System or SIRS. On the left handlebar features a specialized mode switch and multi-directional toggle pad. This allows you to navigate the TFT digital display on the fly, adjusting traction control levels, power modes, engine braking, and the quick shifter settings. It also houses the cruise control buttons, while on the right handlebars contains the engine kill start switch alongside the activator for the bike speed limiter system, which allows riders to set a dedicated speed cap for highway construction zones or speed traps. The display panel of the Suzuki Hayabusa is one of the most celebrated cockpits in the entire motorcycling world. When Suzuki designed the modern Generation 3 model, they did something purists absolutely love. Instead of throwing away the bike's history of a generic rectangular tablet screen, they blended nostalgic analog heritage with cutting-edge digital tech. It looks like a cross between a luxury sports car dashboard and a fighter jet instrument cluster. The core of the dashboard retains the iconic 4-dial analog layout that has defined the Hayabusa since 1999. These physical needles move with a mechanical precision and are planking the center screen. The tachometer, a massive mechanical dial on the left showing your RPMs, the speedometer, a matching large dial on the right. In most markets, it features dual markings for both miles per hour and kilometer per hour, proudly sweeping all the way up to the historic 180 miles per hour or 300 km per hour mark. Fuel gauge and water temperature. Two smaller analog clocks tucked perfectly into the upper outer corners. The dials feature clean, modern font geometry and are backlit by crisp LED lighting, ensuring they are instantly readable at a glance, even at extreme speeds. The lighting system of the Suzuki Hayabusa is built around its polarizing, ultra-aerodynamic nose and tail. When Suzuki designed the modern Generation 3 model, they completely ditched the older halogen bulb configuration and moved to all LED setup. The Hayabusa has always been famous for its vertically stacked headlight assembly, and the current generation refines this look with advanced LED projection. The headlight is purposely squeezed directly between the massive Suzuki Ram Air Direct or S-Ride intake ducts. Shoving the headlight in the center allows the intake vents to sit at the highest atmospheric pressuring point on the bike's nose, boosting engine power at speed. The low beam assembly utilizes two upper and two lower LEDs. These are precisely mounted in the corners to project across an internal reflecting panel, eliminating the entire housing and casting a wide, bright path on the road. The high beam relies on a piercing projector LED that slices through the pitch black high wing settings, a crucial feature for a bike capable of covering vast distances so quickly. One of the sleekest design upgrades on the modern Hayabusa is the front turn signals. Flanking the outer edges of the S-Ride intake ducts are aerodynamic LED position lights or daytime running lights. These white glowing position lights feature integrated turn signals. When you activate a turn indicator, the white running light instantly shifts into a flashing amber signal. By incorporating the turn signals directly into the body lines, Suzuki eliminated the traditional protruding indicator stalks that throwing a bike's drag coefficient. The exhaust system of the Suzuki Hayabusa is a massive part of its physical and sonic identity. It is instantly recognizable by its distinct, symmetric dual muffler setup, 4x2 system stretching down both sides of the rear wheel. Over the rear, the exhaust architecture has gone through a fascinating transformation, transitioning from an unrestricted performance pipeline into an engineering marvel capable of satisfying strict global emission laws without losing its signature punch. From the factory, the Hayabusa utilizes a uniquely balanced, high-capacity system. Four header pipes exit the engine block and route underneath the chassis into a centralized collector. From the central junction, the piping splits back out into two completely separate, triangulated mufflers on the left and right sides. This dual exit layout balances exhaust gas block pressure across the cylinder banks. It also visually fills out the bike's famously wide, bulbous rear aerodynamic silhouette. Meeting tightening environmental regulations pose the single greatest threat to the modern Generation 3 Hayabusa's survival. Suzuki engineers had designed the internal plumbing completely to cut carbon monoxide, unburned hydrocarbons, and nitron oxides to pass Euro 5 certification. While older models carried catalytic converters strictly in the front header pipe junctions, the modern architecture adds a second set of catalysts inside the rear mufflers themselves. The pulse secondary air injection or pair.
coloring the new
This
mufflers
system
take on over
injects
time
fresh,
enables
clean
each
air
rider to
straight
add a
from the
unique
airbox
personal touch
directly
that
into the
reflects
exhaust
his or her
ports.
riding style.
The framing and pairings of the Suzuki Hayabusa are the literal skeleton and skin that allow it to safely travel at near-craft speeds. They are a masterclass in balancing massive structural strength with extreme aerodynamic efficiency. To handle the crushing weight of 1,340cc engine, a beast passenger and intense high-speed G-forces, Suzuki utilizes an incredibly rigid twin-spar layout. The main frame is built from high-strength aluminum alloy rather than utilizing cheap single-cast pieces. Suzuki uses a complex mix of cast and extruded sections welded together. This gives the frame a tuned flex profile. It is rigidly stiff under straight-line acceleration, but offers a tiny bit of lateral forgiveness when cornering at deep lean angles. The inline 4 engine block is bolted securely into the frame at multiple precise mounting points. By using the rigid engine block as a structural element of the chassis itself, Suzuki minimized frame flex and keep the bike tightly planted at 186 miles per hour. The rear subframe, which supports the seats and tail cowl, is crafted from lightweight, rectangular steel tubing. It is purposely engineered to handle heavy payloads, ensuring the bike can carry a passenger and fully loaded touring panniers without structural deformation. The bodywork of the Hayabusa is arguably its most famous and polarizing feature. Suzuki did not design the fairings to follow aesthetic street trends. They were sculpted starlib inside the wind tunnel with a single goal: minimize the aerodynamic drag coefficient. At first glance, the Hayabusa looks bulbous and massive compared to a slim 1000cc superbike. This width is highly intentional. The front fairing is wide enough to create an aerodynamic pocket that completely shrouds the rider's hands, shoulders, and knees from oncoming wind resistance. The front upper cowl slopes aggressively forward, aggressively pushing air over the rider's helmet when tucked flat against the fuel tank. The iconic rear hump replacing the passenger seat to act as a vital aerodynamic aid. It prevents air from swirling chaotically up the rider's back, channeling the slipstream smoothly behind the bike to eliminate aerodynamic drag and high-speed buffering. Packing a high horsepower 1,340cc engine tightly behind solid plastic fairings creates a massive thermal challenge. The fairings are designed to act as an active cooling system. The front fairing features massive side cutouts with specialized internal pins. As the bike moves forward, these pins pull hot air away from the radiator and oil cooler, venting it out the sides and away from the rider's leg. The front Alright everyone and everybody, kayo ba ay muling namangha, na-amaze at na-inspired po sa istoryahe ng ganitong klaseng super sports bike from Suzuki Motorcycles, which is Suzuki Hayabusa? Na bukod nga sa pagiging legendary at one of the fastest motorcycle in the world, ay talaga namang mapapasabi ka na lang talaga na wow na lang talaga. Na sana magkaroon din tayo ng ganitong klaseng kalakas at kapormang super sports bike from Suzuki Motorcycles. Then kung nakukulangan ka pa sa content at vlog na ito, well anyway, don't worry about that because we'll continue our content to still feature another great motorcycle like this. Then if you have any comments, suggestions, and recommendation, just leave it in the comment section below or you may email us personally. Then if you like this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, and we encourage also everyone and everybody to share this video to your friends, family, and to everybody. We'll see you again to our next content or video. Sayonara!
Alright everyone and everybody, so dito dito na nga nagtatapos ang video at content na ito about sa pagtalakay at pag-review ng ganitong klaseng super sports bike from Suzuki, which is Suzuki Hayabusa. At pakita-kita tayo muli sa ating sunod na content at video sa channel na ito. At muli, ito si Mykmoto TV or Mykmoto Vlog. See you again, guys!